We meet at a moment when the world is confronting many challenges. I think all of us are aware of what is going on and all the challenges that we as individual countries are facing with energy, fuel problems, rising cost of living, threats to our food security, threats indeed to peace in our region as well. So we are meeting at a very complex time in world matters, in world security, which is affecting all of our peoples across our region. It is also a moment, and this has been something that I think all of us have been talking about and discussing for many years, our need to really address climate change and to build resilience into our societies, resilience across sectors, across many different areas. As moving forward, we understand that building a resilient society, one that is inclusive, one that leaves no one behind, all of these factors cannot just be merely words, phrases, or rhetoric, but actually we need to now start implementing interventions and taking our policies further to make sure that the rhetoric turns into reality. We also recognize that transforming our economies, our technologies, and our labor markets is something that we need to pay close attention to. Across the region, again, across the world, technology is transforming so fast that often societies and governments are racing to catch up with the transformations that are taking place. These transformations, particularly in technology, have profound impact on the labor market, on education, and on the TVET sector. And we really need to be able to keep abreast with these changes and make sure that our people, particularly our young people, are ready to face these challenges and are ready to face the changing labor market and changing economic conditions that they will very soon have to confront. Globally, we read reports of younger people who are facing intensely more insecure futures, more insecure than our generation, more insecure than certainly our parents' generations. We are sending our children out, our young people out, to a very uncertain world. And this is something that I think we really need to take account of and make sure that we skill our young people, not only in brains and in the technologies that we equip them with, but also in terms of their attitudes and their socio-emotional skills that will help them to deal with a world that is adapting or changing, a world that is changing so fast that one of the most required skills in the future will be adaptability, resilience, teamwork, and actual concern for the world around them and each other. Because I think the challenges that we are facing can only be met successfully through this collective spirit. For Sri Lanka, this transformation is a national priority. This is why we are undertaking substantial reforms in our education sector. We strongly believe that education must not only provide knowledge, but also empower people with opportunities, skills, dignity, and the ability to think and lead our country to this transformative future that we are envisioning. In this sense, strengthening the vocational education sector is also critical. We are working very hard, our ministry is working very hard to modernize our TVET sector, improving training quality, strengthening industry partnerships, expanding access, enhancing the NVQ, the National Vocational Qualification Framework, so that it remains relevant, improving our regulatory framework, improving our institutional structures, trying to work better at understanding industry, working better with private sector, but also encouraging the private sector to think responsibility and consider their role in the TVET sector as well. If we are serious, if we are truly serious about climate resilience and sustainable development, all of this needs to be embedded into our education and training. We really need to see how this forms part of our strategy. It's not something that we tuck away in a corner and becomes optional or becomes something that is an add-on or something that we check as included. It really must become mainstream. This means that we need to integrate green skills into our curricula, invest in the training facilities that are required, investing in our human resources capacity to go with this transformation, support innovation, and encourage collaboration between training industries and emerging green industries. We also need to understand that beneath all of this, underlying all of this, is a fundamental commitment to ensuring equity and inclusive policies in whatever sector that we work in. This means that the opportunities we generate, that the opportunities we provide are open to all, accessible to all, young people, women, young women, the disabled community, communities that have been historically marginalized due to socio-economic and political reasons. All of this that we need to understand and make sure that our services, our training, and the opportunities we are developing or the opportunities that we are opening up are inclusive and include everyone. Furthermore, I think this moment in our time is teaching us another lesson, that no country can achieve any of this alone, and that no country can really address or deal with the challenges that we are facing on our own. Regional cooperation and knowledge sharing and any other cooperation and collaboration becomes even more important. And I think in particular, our region really needs to come together at this moment. There are many ways in which we can collaborate. There are many things that give us or create the conditions that support that kind of collaboration, because many of us have shared histories, shared cultures, many things that we recognize and share with each other. And I think, therefore, that this kind of regional cooperation also needs to move beyond hosting conferences or coming up with fantastic policy documents, but for actual partnerships that can take this collaboration further and make this collaboration really meaningful and transform these collaborations into actual benefits for the peoples of all of our countries. So I wish you all the very best today. This conference, I think, provides an opportunity for the kind of dialogue, partnership, and collective thinking that is so necessary. I'm sure that your dialogue, your conversations will generate ideas and innovations and inspire new ways of thinking that will be hugely important in shaping the TVET future in our region. We as a country remain committed to working closely with our regional and international partners to build resilient education systems and to support the kinds of transformative changes that are necessary in order to make education meaningful for our people.